Hey, my lovelies. So, welcome to today's energy read. Um, it's feeling good. I feel like we are in a wonderful space because we are reflecting on some change. Okay, the message is change. There is a change in the air. There's a change in the wind, says I. It's that kind of energy. Like there's a change in the energy, and I think what's really happening is that we are having a moment to reflect and having a moment to look beyond our 3D eyes. And I think that's what needs to change. I think what's really, really difficult sometimes is to, when I speak to people and I have my one to one readings and stuff like that, it's sort of like, there's financial strain, there's worries with, you know, um, how people are making ends meet, how they're getting by, issues with family and children and lifestyle and health and stuff like that. So there's a lot of things that we're all kind of going through that, at least one of us could say, me too. Yeah, I feel you. I get what's going on in your energy. But I think what's happening is that the shift that is being created by this full moon energy is very much like, don't just look through your 3D vision. Don't just look through your two eyes. Look through your etherical eye. Look at the changes that have been made to you on a cellular level. Look at the things that you have done of late that has been helpful to your mental health state. The fact that you've been able to step back from certain people, places, and things and change the way you do things. For some of you, you've done a huge switch up. There's been a change in diet. Some of you are not eating the same kind of things, and I feel for some of you, a lot of you who have been once were just vegetarians or vegans have now become flexitarians, and you're starting to eat meat again, and you're starting to integrate other things back into your diet because you realize there was some type of change that was needed. There was some type of lack going on. And on the vice versa end, those who have been feeling quite dense and heavy because of the amount of meat that they've been eating is now kind of eating more fresh and more vegetarian style or vegan. So I feel like there is a real shift going on in the universe, and the change is coming from a real individual state of mind. And I think that's what needs to really be looked at. I think one of the most hardest things is not to compare yourself to somebody else or somebody else's journey or how they seem to just be skating through life. The change needs to be from within. What is going to feel better for me? So, is me going out more, being more sociable in this time, going to help? Or is right now I've been outsiding quite a lot and I kind of need to get more integrated with myself? I need to get more intimate with myself. Then that's the energy. So, it's going to be different for different people. You know what you need. But what I think the change is that it can't look like, or it shouldn't be modeled on anybody else. It shouldn't be a comparison of somebody else's life. And I make that analogy because I was having a conversation, um and we were talking about how, kind people or people who we consider nice people, they always say that, oh, good guys or good girls finish last, that kind of thing. And it's like, oh, people who just seem to get on with it, they just seem to skate through. And the energy is, it just feels like it's not worth being nice anymore. It's like maybe the change needs to be that, we get a little bit more cutthroat and we get a little bit more, you know and stop being so yielding. And then the other side of the conversation was, well, although some people seem to get what it is that they want, there seems to be an issue somewhere with them, whether it's some kind of mental deficit, some kind of real self-hatred, or they're not really content with everything that they have. That's why they feel they need to keep gobbling up everybody else's energy, need to take or control. Anybody who has those kind of inclinations and those energies are not truly powerful and are not at peace with themselves. So it's that kind of thing where you can't just be like, well, I'm not going to be a good person anymore because it doesn't work. What can be different is your perspective. You can change your perspective from an instance of not to say good girls or good girls finish last, but to say I'm going to create boundaries and only have the frequency of self-love that is going to yield the kinds of people that deserve to be within my space. Anybody who disrespects my energy, my space, my time, my money, who messes with my growth, they need to be checked. And if once you've checked and then decided no one ain't listening, then they need to check out and they need to be ushered out, out of the situation, out of your life, out of your area of focus. Because again, whoever we focus on and whatever we focus on continues to grow. So we don't need to focus on the fact that there are just some real arseholes out there that just seem to be skating through. And obviously we get that other thing, fortune favors the bold. So get bold. If you're really timid and you sort of just take the scraps that are given to you or left behind and you're okay with taking crumbs, then maybe the change is I'm no longer taking crumbs. I ask for the best of the best, and that is what I deserve. I manifest what I truly deserve, and what I truly deserve is the finer things. I no longer take scraps. I expect the best quality of everything, and I give the best of myself, and I am a quality person. I am someone who deserves to be loved and respected and taken care of. There's a change in how we view ourselves and a change in the way that we speak about ourselves, speak to ourselves. So I think the change is I've come a long way. I've still got a little bit of work to do. And this is the areas that I want to work on, opposed from beating yourself up and comparing yourself or your life to somebody else's, because that will just create more misery. And then that can spiral into depression, and then that can spiral into something else and something else and something else, because you just yield what it is that you pay your attention to. All right, so it's not about the lack. The change energy needs to be from a perspective of what do I want, what's going to make me feel good, what's going to actually serve me, what is serving me. And I think that's a question that you can really, really ask yourself in every situation. What is serving me and what is draining or depleting me? And really ask yourself that, is this situation supportive of me, or is it depleting me? Is this serving me? So really start asking yourself those questions. Like I said, there is a wonderful energy of expansion. We've got the full moon in Sagittarius. Jupiter's doing its thing, with the luck energy and expansion. So this is a real fruitful time, a real optimistic time, a real time of reflection and change. So really do start thinking about how far you've come, the changes that you still want to make. And if there was no worry about anything, what would I do? What would I focus on? What would I want to do? And that's the energy of change. So don't feel any way. Make the changes that need to be made. Like I said, it doesn't have to be huge, dramatic changes. It could be small changes done over a nice, concise and realistic time frame, so that you don't start giving yourself anxiety over the long list of things that you need to change, that then become into a negative bashing of yourself, because that is not what's needed. Okay, we're not bashing ourselves, we're not beating ourselves up, we're not comparing ourselves to anybody else. We're saying what's going to serve me and what's going to make me feel juicy and lovely at this particular time, because this is the energy. Step into that expansion, be ready to grow, and anything that doesn't feel like it fit anymore, let it go. Much love, my darlings.